Hello again, it's me. I'm Tim and something feet, murder, walking stuff. Yeah, this is Princeton Beach. It's not the biggest beach I've seen, and frankly it's all gravel, but there you go. This is where I got to last time. It's been a couple of weeks. This is Wednesday the 3rd of August 2022. Is it 2022? I get really confused with years these days. Anyway, that's Thorney Island, which we did last time. It's been a couple of weeks, mostly because the last week I was going to go and do this, it turned out to be 38 degrees centigrade around here, which is about 18 degrees higher than normal. And I ummed and ahed, but then thought, no, probably the best thing to do would be to not do 15 miles of vigorous walking in a 38 degree heat wave under a orange, and in some parts of the country red, warning for health about temperature. God, I'll talk more about that when we get going, but yeah, so it's been a couple of weeks. I think I was away visiting last week as well, but yeah, it's Wednesday. I've taken the week off work because, you know, got to use the holidays or lose them. And so I thought I'd spend a few days this week trying to get a bit more, catch up a bit more headway, because I don't think I'm going to make Eastbourne by my traditional September camping week, so I don't know, we'll see what happens. Anyway, we're going that way. There's a big sort of loopy thing called Chidham with a village on it, another sort of peninsula thing, and then there's one beyond that called Bossam, and then you go around that one and you're basically in Chichester, where I left the car today. So bust my way here. I'm going to crack on and get started. We'll talk more as we go. First bench of the day, Bench of the Dead. In loving memory of Dennis Thorne, 1935 to 2016. In loving memory of Jesse Kenning, 1910 to 2006. There's a story there, I suspect, but one that I'm not interested in. Hoi. Right, so, well, I've been walking for less than 10 minutes. Just started over there, but I thought this would be a good panorama. So this is Chichester Harbour, as regular viewers will know, which is frankly a geographical pain in the arse as far as I'm concerned. It's a lengthy, tortuous inland series of estuaries, which is probably best illustrated by pointing at a map instead. There we go, see that green bit? That's what I'm tackling at the moment. So we did my finger moves more slowly in the camera than in real life. It's quite disconcerting. Anyhow, so yes, this was Thorney Island, which we did last time, and a bit from Hemsworth. We're in Sussex now, West Sussex. That was all Hampshire. And we're basically doing this piece here, around this one here, around the village of Chidham, then round to the village of Bossam, follow that one round, and then back up to the far end of the river. I think it goes into Chichester as part of a canal at that point. Anyway, my car's in there somewhere, and what I thought would be the useful Sussex border path, in fact, is only an inland border. Doesn't actually do the coast. So I'm just on a regular average Joe footpath with no particular designation or special name or symbol, but having a rummage around in here, which I'm not going to unfold because there's a bit of a breeze here, but having a rummage in here shows me that there is basically proper footpath pretty much the entire way through, although I will have to do a little bit of inland road walking once I get the other side of that part there. There is a ferry there, apparently, a passenger ferry that goes across that channel and connects over near, what is that, Itchenor? West Itchenor, yeah, somewhere around. There's a little summer-only passenger ferry. We'll probably see it, but I'm not going to take it. Now, under the normal rules that I've set myself, I would be absolutely allowed to take that, but there's not really much point, because I'd only have to find my way back to Chichester to get my car anyway, so I might as well just walk back along the inland thing, do the entire inland variant of the route without cutting that quite small gap, really. So that's the plan, anyway. Chichester, South Harting and Selsey. I already had this map. It's because the South Downs Way. Do you remember that? Somewhere else on my YouTube thing up there somewhere is the South Downs Way, which is number 8, which runs along there. South Harting, Beacon Hill, Cocking. I'm sure we made lots of chortling about that when we went past there. And also along the South Downs Way is a village called Staining as well. So, you know, the hilarity was had, but that was winter and this is summer. And yeah, it's a nice day. doesn't look like a nice day, but for my purposes this is a nice day. There's a nice high overcast that should take the worst off the sun. There's a good solid 10 mile an hour breeze coming across there. Oh, I could have gone across there, look, causeway. Yeah, no rain forecast today, 6% chance, despite what the clouds look like. I imagine inland they'll get a bit, but down here on the coast I think we'll be good. So yeah, I've just got my shirt and no t-shirt today. It's about 22 degrees I think, even with the overcast and the breeze. So to be honest, if there were no clouds it'd be a bit more punishing. So no, for me this is a good day weather-wise. Yeah, sunset's at, I don't know, 8ish, 9, something like that still. I mean, it's only August still. The sun hasn't really started drawing in considerably yet. That won't happen until probably far into September, October time. So, which is good because I was a bit late getting here. Really, thought I'd have a bit of a lie-in, you know, week off. Got an hour later bus than I would have otherwise done, and we're good to go. So I'm just going to keep on trudging on that way. And it's all going to be this kind of thing really, seawall, jumbled up rocks, coastal defences of sorts, low tide obviously. But yeah, this is a massive, I expect the tide will change. I mean, it's about 12 to 15 miles today, I think, all in all. So we'll probably see the tide change during the trip. It's about 5-6 hours worth of hiking, I expect. But yeah, it's just good to keep chipping on with it, really. I mean, this Chichester Harbour is quite, I don't know, I find it irritating in terms of achieving pure coastal mileage, because essentially it's a massive loop that sees me basically doubling back on myself to the Hayling Island Sailing Club. If you remember, like two or three videos ago there, I'm basically going to be about 200 metres across the channel from there by the end of these, like 3 or 4 days worth. But, you know, it is what it is. I'll probably miss this kind of interesting low-lying tidal landscape once we get back out onto the south coast, because once I get back to West Wittering, which is on that end of the main channel back out to the sea, it just goes low-lying shorefront shingle pretty much all the way around Selsey Bill and then on to Brighton, to be honest. And it'll rise up to White Cliffs, Seven Sisters, Burling Gap and stuff. We've seen all that before as well. That's elsewhere on the YouTube channel. Yeah. But we won't see anything like this, I don't imagine, until we get to probably the Thames estuary, you know, Isle of Sheppey or Grain or whatever it's called. So we'll see. Really don't know what I'm going to do about all that, because that's really an unhelpful coastal hiking terrain, that is. But a problem for another week. All right, let's crack on, because I'm really not tired at all. I was just sitting down for effect and to be able to show you a map. Yeah. Reached a bit of a peninsula turning point here. Running along the top at the moment, we're about to turn and head south, out back into the harbour. A lot of birds. Just waiting for a party of dog walkers to clear. Sound of my voice. Hello. That's weird. It's normally the microphone that goes, not my voice. Yeah, what have we got out there? Geese, I think. Sometimes I feel bad for being so ignorant about the things I'm looking at when I'm out here, but I don't know, you can't learn everything, you know. Sometimes it's nice just to stare and not know, you know. Sounds a bit like I'm campaigning for improved ignorance. I don't know. It's not focusing either, is it? I think they're geese. They look like gooses in profile. Tall necks, squat bodies, sort of brown, black heads. Don't know. Absolutely no idea about migratory habits or anything like that. You'd have to go off and do your own research, I suppose. I just think I'm a sort of gateway drug to going off and learning stuff. That probably credits me with too much forethought. Right, let's carry on round. Swing around here and then we're off down into the harbour, yeah. Harbour proper. Oh, good. Glad my voice hasn't died. That would make for quite an awkward silence for the next, like, 5 hours. Oh, exciting. Damage to footpath as a result of storms. Alternative route available. No. I think we'll definitely follow the main route. storms destroying our coasts. My object. I survived Thermageddon. Yeah, that was mad. So yeah, since we spoke last, I think I'll be alright. Take my chances. But yeah, since we spoke last, we had a massive heat wave. I say massive, I say it's like the hottest temperatures in this country on record, and our records go back about 150 years or so. We British do like to record the weather. And yeah, it was about 12 to 15 degrees hotter than it usually is in most parts of the country over the few days of that weekend, which brought some challenges. I mean, I was googling around that day, you know, because all my attention was focused on the unseasonable heat, and I found out that the hottest place in the world at that point was 50 degrees centigrade near just north of Basra on the Iraq-Iran border. Yeah, so puts it all in perspective, but we're just not ready for it. We don't know what to do. It's like a hammer. Yeah, I actually walked to work that day because I'm an idiot. It's alright in the morning. It's a 20-minute walk, it's about a mile. Air-conditioned office at one end, reasonably cool house at the other. And yeah, the morning going in about 8 o'clock, that was alright. That was quite pleasant. 22 or 23 degrees already at that point. Quite a pleasant summer sort of thing. Coming home though, my God, I think it was about 34 where we were. And yeah, I was only out in it for 20 minutes, and I did feel a bit peculiar afterwards when I got home. I had to sit in a dark room and drink lots. It does get to you, it slows the brain. I mean, I keep reading about, was it a wet bulb event? It has a proper scientific name, but basically if the air humidity gets gets high enough, fortunately the humidity was quite low that day, but with 100% humidity, an air temperature of about 35 degrees will start to kill people, because you just cannot sweat at that point. Body cannot get rid of its excess core temperature, so you just cook slowly from the inside out. And that actually has happened recently in, I think, Pakistan and India, and for a few hours at a time this year in certain places. You know, I mean, modern air conditioning and hiding and drinking lots of water help, certainly, but yeah, wretched thing. I mean, you worry about, you know, the temperature of the earth reaching 100 degrees centigrade or whatever. It doesn't need to be anywhere near that high to end human life as we know it. So yeah, quite sobering. Yeah, I thought it might not be a good idea to go hiking that day. But yeah, just crazy. I mean, I'm convinced almost certainly as human originated climate change is responsible. Seems the simplest solution, Occam's razor and all that, simplest explanation. But I'm not sure what to do about it really. I mean, I try and drive less. I did move to be nearer work. I recycle, you know, put stuff in the right sorts of plastic bin, but ultimately it'll take more than my nervous fretting to sort this out. This is the world we've got coming. The Met Office was saying that we could expect that kind of thing every 3 years on average going forward. Good-o. I mean, it's August now, the year's not over yet, but who knows what will happen. Unseasonable wind patterns basically bring in different weather fronts with us. Storm damage. Is it a path along the top here? Perhaps I should have followed that sign. I might need to concentrate and, you know, not hold a phone in one hand for this next bit. Speak again in a bit. Yeah, I had to abandon the top in the end because it just got too overgrown. That storm must have happened quite a while ago then, quite a few years ago, for it to have gotten this overgrown. Right. Yeah, so it got to about, I think, 40.8 centigrade was the record temperature, somewhere around Cambridge that day. I don't know how many people died, to be honest. I don't think it was like, you know, waves and waves, but the NHS, which has never really recovered from COVID-19, was just completely overwhelmed in pretty much every part of the country. I think a lot of people were ill, but not so many people died from it. So more in the nature of a warning or a portent than an outright extinction event. But I doubt we've seen the last of that. I mean, that can't be normal, can it? Literally, that's not the definition of abnormal when long-standing 100-year-old records are being beaten year after year. That suggests a trend, doesn't it? It suggests a direction. Still, what can you do? Be sensible when it happens. Stay indoors, drink lots. Crank on the AC more. Use more energy. We can fight nature to a point, but eventually it will break. I just wonder if I'll be alive to see it. Maybe I will cease to be alive because of it. Who knows? What a morbid conversation we're having today. But yes, it's nice today. I'm going to have to put some suntan stuff on the arms. I mean, it's, cloudy, but enough of that's still going to get through to tan me up and lobster me good, I reckon. Let's follow this trail here. Right down on the shoreline. I mean, you can sort of see where the high tide mark is. It's actually quite near. Some of that greenery goes underwater regularly. Salt tolerant plant life. Certainly all the brown stuff gets covered. It doesn't come all the way up here, but well, you can sort of see the high tide mark. There's bits of kelp drying where it's cast up in the highest tides. Probably not that further between those. Got a couple of hours yet though, looking at it. Something you learn on a trip like this. Ooh, hello, extreme close up. Yeah, you learn about tides and how fast they move, the kind of pace and how long you have to prepare for this sort of thing, how long you have in hand for this kind of very short line work. Do you remember that time where I sat by a river until the tide came in and then went out again? Yeah, me too. Anyway, let's carry on round. You can see the end of this particular peninsula, not far away. 10 minutes away maybe. Let's get on and walk it. Hello, we're going back up here again. I'm quite sure now. Maybe I should have followed the sign. See, hubris, that's what'll get you killed on a trip like this. No, I don't need to follow your signs. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, that's not a path, is it? Righto. Yeah, it's more faith than cartography at this point, but I think I'm making progress. I'm choosing to call this a path. Look, you can tell by where the seaweed marks either side of it. Yes. Cuttlefish bones, skeleton, innards, whatever. Birds like those, budgerigars and things. Peck, peck, peck. Lots of smooth bits of flotsam here as well. So, you wouldn't have thought the tide would be the waves would be that strong this far in, because it's quite a lot of ins and outs before you get to the sea. It must be particularly stormy to push stuff up this far onto this bit. So it doesn't happen very often. Yeah, I'm guessing by the time we get to the end it'll loop round and join on to wherever that alternative path I was meant to use was supposed to go. So I don't think I could remain lost for very long. It's probably going to be fine. Wow, whole piece of wall there. It's like a wall top, probably. That doesn't float in the slightest, so God knows how that's got mushed up onto a beach this far out from anywhere. Something disastrous must have happened. Look at this. Super polished. Been floating around the world probably. They do, they go round and round for like thousands of days before washing up somewhere. Years even. So they get out into an ocean tide and current. And they're still finding bits of Lego on some beach where a shipping container crashed. I can't remember whereabouts in the world that was. Some big old container ran aground or something. Spilt a load of Lego bricks into the sea, and they have a sort of propensity to follow great big global patterns of current around the world. And they keep sort of washing up in a particular part of the world. I forget exactly where it is, you have to look it up, but yeah. I mean, I can think of less polluting ways to map ocean currents and tides, but inadvertent science, I suppose. Oh, it's hard going. Oh, hello, what's that? Something on fire over there. Dark, oily smoke. they don't do that anymore. It's kind of a bad idea they discovered. I mean, I remember it when I was a kid. Lived out in the countryside, and yeah, a local farm, they used to burn the crop. Well, they'd harvest it first, obviously, but then all the stalky bits left over, it was deemed at the time the best way to deal with that was to just set fire to it all. It burns down in a more or less controlled fashion, very rarely ever setting fire to nearby houses or washing, and yeah, all the ash gets ploughed in and presumably is good for the following crops. But they don't really do that anymore because of, you know, carbon dioxide and also burning the occasional farmhouse. Guess you just plough it in nowadays, let it rot naturally. But yes, so I would be surprised if that was stubble burning. I don't know what that is. It's quite dark, quite oily. Makes me think it's probably an unintentional fire of some sort. I think they do steam trains around here. It's not white enough for steam. Guess I'll never know. Except on the news later. Oh, nice breeze here. Gonna head down and push on along this gravel for a bit more. Yeah, coming around the end again, I think. Swing around a bit. Trying to look at what this is. So yeah, you got loads of rocks, all sorts of types here, a lot of brick, and oddly enough, bits of wall and masonry, a few chunks of concrete, but there you go, here's a piece. Some sort of aggregate, gravel, sandblast type mix. A piece of something, probably one of those concrete loaves over there. These look like they would have moulded inside sandbags, I suppose. Just pour cement in a bag. Don't know. Bit of gravel for solid. Bag rots off in the weather. Bag-shaped bit of concrete. Pillow, you know. This would have been original defences, all smashed up by the sea. It's probably what the sign warned me about. Can't use that as a path. But no, it's this. This here. It looks like a band of native rock. It's not been deposited here. It looks like this. I don't know. It's either a sort of small strata of native. I don't know. What is that? Limestone? Probably. But there's not limestone here. As you can see, it's all sort of just mud. Easily eroded. That's why you got the defences at all. So, was this a road? A wall top? Is it man-made? Carries on quite a way, or is this just where the sort of wave action naturally sorts those sorts of rock? Because you get that, you get a sort of particulate distribution along a beach. All the small stuff stays down near the shoreline, sand, and different bands of different sizes of rock carried up by different strengths of wave and storm. Until you just got muddy sand down there. But I don't know what this band of white stuff is. It goes all the way along. Is it a road, a path, a wall? Some much earlier shore defence just got overwhelmed. I don't know. Well, answers on a postcard or something. Right, hopefully, I think I saw some people just the other side of the hedge over there, so I think this might rejoin the actual path at some point soon, which would be nice. Could do with just a bit of hard-packed mud to walk along for a while. This gravel's doing my head in. And it's not entirely stable. Alright, so I'm looking at Hayling Island Sailing Club and Lifeboat Station. Come on, 10 times zoom, your time to shine. Yeah, I think so. That far one is Hayling Island, I believe. Which means that's the gap for the sea. That must be... is it Rainhead? I can't remember. No, that's somewhere else. Eaglehead? Hawkhead? I don't know. West Wittering anyway, that way. Anyway, that's all another day's problem. I've got to go around here and to the left now. De-zoom, de-zoom. Good. Here we go. Yes. So that's where I probably should have come from. That's where I'm going now. And this is interesting. Here we go. You know the drill, press pause for more information. But specifically, footpath floods at high tide, no alternative route. Okay. So basically I have, through sheer providence, sheer serendipity, turned up at a time where I'm not going to die by following this footpath. That's good. Oh, blimey. Here we go. Young Dunlins, red shanks, big red legs. Yeah, I see why. See what they did there. Oyster catchers. Talked a lot about those on Hailing Island. There was a big old bed where they lived. Protected bird thing, curlews. Yeah. Area of outstanding natural beauty. And death if you turn up at the wrong time. Right, I better crack on then, really. I mean, to be honest, I think I've probably got about another 2 or 3 hours for high tide, but better crack on anyway. This floods, does it? Exciting. Oh yeah, I see the problem. Yeah, straight back onto the shingle for me. I mean, if only there was somewhere else you could put a safe alternative route, you know, somewhere that you could just walk in perfect safety when whatever the tide was doing. But it seems that there's literally nowhere else that an alternative footpath could go. So then's the brakes. Gonna go and take my life in my hands now. Here we go. Oh God, run, 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 go, 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 it's coming! Dawdling in the danger zone, but I don't care. I'm like that. Check this out, it's an oak, like you'd find all over Hampshire and West Sussex apparently. I mean, it's a weird root system, and the tide comes right up to there. It must be quite salt tolerant, I suppose, or perhaps the water just doesn't poison it, it doesn't get that far up. This tree shouldn't exist really. There's a couple along here, all just dipping their toes in the sea. It's like a small forest that's come on holiday to the beach. Oh, I better keep moving or I'm gonna die. Just to overstate the peril, there's seaweed hanging from quite a lot of the lower branches of these trees. Still, I'm not the only one to come through here this tide. At least one mountain bike. We got dogs, one dog, quite a large dog. Yeah, some sort of large Labrador type of thing. Feet going that way, some this way. Yeah, I think about 3 or 4 people and one bike and one dog since last high tide. Fear my tracking skills. I don't know how much of that's navigable, probably none of it really if you're at all sane. It looks like you've got bits of causeway and things out there, but I don't know how much I'd trust any of that. And almost certainly it doesn't go all the way across because that's a channel that goes up to yachting marinas up at Chichester, so that must stay wet all the way through the tidal cycle. Probably isn't any kind of walkway. It's fine, I don't need to be over there today anyway. That's West Itchenor, I think, somewhere around there. Something to look forward to for next time. That probably will be the next trip, actually, yeah. Be Chichester back down that side of this river. As far as I can get, really. So if I get to West Wittering in one go from Chichester, it's a bit of a stretch, but we'll see. That's another day's problem. Probably Sunday, actually. I'm ignoring about Friday. I don't know, I might want to have at least one day off doing nothing on my week off, you know. Booked out all the other days doing stuff. But yeah, Sunday should be a normal hike, I think. So probably, yeah, over there on Sunday, weather permitting and stuff. Hell, even weather forbidding, who cares? Let's do it. Alright, tick-tock, Tim, tick-tock. This is a bit like that Chronicles of Riddick, where they are escaping from an alien prison, or a world where the sunlight incinerates human beings on the spot, and they're racing the dawn across the landscape on the surface. Trying to get to the ship before the bad guys can steal it using the underground tram. All very exciting and very, very similar to this, in fact. There is indeed one speed here. Good. Well, I'm out of the danger zone. Made it with my life. Back on the path. Going that way next. It's a nice little spot. Flat grassy area, moderate shelter, out of the way. I don't know, it looks like it strikes me as a place where there'd be a lot of dog walking until very late. Still, if it were late enough, still not a problem for today. Oh, so many little boats out there today. It's midweek, it's a Wednesday, but I suppose school holidays as well, so perhaps these are adventure camps and things, or little groups, activity centres and whatnot. I don't know. Oh, hello. No. Thank you. Let's try. This sort of inshore sailing always seems like a lot of hard work, to be honest. It's just going round and round and lots of adjusting sails all the time. Unless you just happen to be going exactly in the direction of the wind, like that big one in the middle. I imagine sailing on the sea is probably more rewarding, more engaging. Well, I mean, it's certainly engaging, but too engaging, I think. Hearing a lot of horns out there. Not sure from where. They race stop signals, that sort of thing. Bit of a breeze coming in from this direction. It's pretty much facing directly into it, coming through the gap. You can see the gap out to the sea. It's between Hayling and West Wittering. And lots and lots of marinas and things. Hello, sorry, zoom control problems. Yeah, lots of marinas up ahead. Lots of places to moor your super sparkly mega yacht. It's a small hiking party about to head into the danger zone. Don't know if I ought to warn them or not. It's not that dangerous, God. It took about 15 minutes to get to the other safe bit, and that tide's a long way out yet. I'm sure they'll be fine. Alright, let's crack on. Could do with a cup of coffee or something, actually. See what we can find. Yeah, it all looks a bit crowded, to be honest. And I'm, really good with crowds and people. Fortunately, I'm on the land and they're not. So that goes off to Chichester at the far end after some turning and stuff, mostly marinas all the way up by the looks of it, moorings. We're going left at the moment, following the shore of this one up to Bossum and the main road. You can sort of see Bossum in the distance there, I think. We'll be going there. Quaint little village of, I don't know, probably late Egyptian dynastic period. But yeah, we'll be going there. Has some interesting properties at high tide. Half the village floods. Well, some of it does. And hopefully we'll get there for high tide. That's definitely coming in. You can see see on the shore there, the stuff just next to the water is dry, which means it's coming in, not going out. Yeah, we'll see where we get to when we get there, but we'll have a good old look at the place anyway. God, look at all that. Left hand down a bit, number one. It's like a little causeway we're on here, with a little bridge. It's all very fen-like. Am I going to be quick enough? Okay. Bit of wildlife for you. I think there was a coyote. Maybe a fox. I'm really slow on the draw when it comes to seeing interesting wildlife. Tried to get a heron earlier and it was having none of it. Took one look at me looking at him and boom, gone. While I was still fumbling in my pocket. So yeah, a bit of an inland detour around that sailing club youth centre thing. And then we're cracking on down this coast here. Not sure where the village of Chidnam is. Is that in there maybe? Because it's not on the shore. Doesn't matter. Don't need to see that particularly. So that's Bossum getting a bigger interview. We're going to be over there and then basically coming back down that shoreline on the opposite side at some point this afternoon. But yeah, the halfway marks up here. Basically this goes right up to the main road that runs along there. I forget which A road it is, but big long main coast road that sort of deviates past all these inlets and things, connects Chichester to Portsmouth. Got the bus along there earlier today. This basically goes right up to that road and then along it for a short stretch and then back down to Bossum over there. So I'm hoping there's like a garage or a shop. I wasn't really paying attention. Got water and everything, of course, but had a fairly big breakfast before I set off. It's nice just to sit and stare on a bench with a drink for a bit. So many moored yachts and things along here. Which must be a bit of a centre for the sport. A little bit of an inland turn here, just as well as you can see, kelp right up to the path at high tide. So we're getting quite far up creek now, without a paddle, literally. So I can see the glimmering of the main road there, a little bit of traffic back and forth. That is where I need to head as far inland as I can go. Then I think we come back down the other side. I think that's basically halfway when I get that road for today. It's good. Your dead crab. So it goes. Yeah, yes, Bossom's church over there. I've been to Bossum before, so kind of know what to expect. Not from this angle though. This is the thing, I've been to a lot of these places along the south coast for day trips. You drive there and you look around a bit and then you drive away again, and they're points. They're places, distinct points, because nothing exists while you're in a car. That might as well be like hypersleep or something. You get in a car at your house, there's some scenery goes past the window, particularly if you're driving, which I always am. You've really got no attention to spare on wooded hillsides off to the distant sides. You've got to watch out what's going on. So you sort of get in a car at a place you know, you get out of a car somewhere else, you mooch about a bit, look at a shop, buy an ice cream, get back in a car, and then magically an hour later you're at home, you know. But doing this strings it all together. They're no longer points, they're places along a line, you know, of experience. And because you're going so slowly along that line, you've got a good old gawk around either side, so it's more of a corridor than a line. A corridor of things that you've seen that you can string together as a sort of sequence of connected events rather than just single points of stuff. Yeah, I definitely need a drink or a coffee or something because I'm getting a bit philosophical. It's probably dehydration. Right, up and away through here. This must take me through Chidham, the village, somewhere. And then, yeah, up to that main road, I guess. It's the next main thing. Trudge along there a little bit, I think, and then back out down this side here. I know Bossom's got a shop and some cafes and things, so I can definitely take advantage of that if I find nothing before then. Good. Could do with an ice cream as well as a coffee about now. Probably not at the same time, though. Why don't you get coffee magnums? I need to write to somebody about this. I'm in harvest time quite everywhere yet. A lot of fields have been taken, but I think this one's ready to go. What we got here? Ow, that's spiky. Is that wheat? Don't know. There's a grain of something. It's not a great piece for camera. Yeah. Guess you pound those flat, dry them, run them through millstones and stuff. Give me some sort of flour. I think it's wheat. Doesn't look like barley. It's not got the sort of hair-like fronds sticking off the end. Oh, I don't know. Probably marshmallows. Please keep your dogs off this land. Easily done. Yep, still following the harbour round. Alright, I'll watch the floor for a bit, God. This is different. That's what we got in here. Some sort of cabbage-like type of thing. It's certainly been had by the insects. Don't know, kale? No. I think these are kale. Curly kale. Not sure about these. I don't think it's cabbages. Some of the leaf-based thing. Some darker thing over here. Is it purple sprouting? Maybe. Neatly in rows. Looks a bit wilty. Looks a bit worse for the wear, to be honest. I don't know what time of year they're supposed to be done and ready, but I don't know. Mind you, I mean, look at that. So this kind of shade of yellow is what passes for grass around the south of England at the moment. I mean, certainly that 40-degree heat wave didn't help, but I think it's just been a really dry summer as well, hot. And I think a lot of these grasses, I mean, these long ones will be better off surviving because they've got deep roots, but the more traditionally mown front lawns of most people's houses and stuff are just the colour of wheat, basically, but they look like they're never going to recover. I don't know. Does it come back from that? I suppose so. They're hardy things, grasses, but yeah, certainly not a green and pleasant land at the moment, not in the south. I was recently in North Wales visiting, and it's all quite green there. But yeah. Oh, here comes the sun. Right on cue. But yeah, I don't know. I wonder how hot it has to be for how long and how dry before you start getting permanent damage to the landscape. Guess we'll see. Right, this is a busy main road. Fortunately though, we don't have to do much trudging along it. Although a bit, mind you, it's a nice wide cycle path type pavement thing. Get a bit of time along here. Look for the right hand turn footpath when I see it. Probably not this one. This is a snow goose rather than a footpath. Don't know, they would do things differently here. Onward. I'm glad to be off of there. Noisy, boring, straight, flat. Bit hard on the feet. Still, did the job. Onwards. Right, I think this comes back down the left-hand side now. But next stop, Bossum. Well, I definitely need to stop and have some lemonade or something. Just a bit of a small lunch break, I think. Pace myself a bit. I mean, we're basically halfway through today now, probably a bit more. So yeah. And it's only what is the time? It's 13:21, so yeah, doing well. Basically about 11:15 when I set off, so yeah, making good time. Could definitely ease up on the pace if I wanted. Yeah, coming up on Bossum now, and down the other side of all that. It's just around the corner. I think that black building is like a town, village, wharf, quay, pier thing. So yeah, I think there's a village green there and hopefully a pub and cafe and whatnot. Could do with a bit of a rest, make a bit of a lunch break of it. It's good. Not tired, just the base of the feet are aching a bit again, which is just, you know, raw mileage, to be honest. That's what happens when I just walk and don't stop for like hours at a time. Keep forgetting to rest. It gets you in the end, builds up. I mean, I'm okay, but yeah, I could definitely do with a sit down for a bit. Lovely spot to do that. I think tide's coming in as well, so I should be able to see the flooded street thing. Yeah. Not very green, village green. Alright, pubs and cafes around the left, I think. Cider lolly. Well, I went up there and it's just too full of people dithering and in my way, so I grabbed a can from an ice cream van and I'm moving on. But yes, it's a Blossom. So tide doesn't come in till about 4 o'clock today, which is ages. But if you see the white line there, let me try and zoom whilst also holding a lolly. The white line on the street there at the top where that person's sitting, that's where the tide goes up to normally, so all these cars are going to have to move before 4 o'clock. This whole road is inundated and underwater at high tide, so I better get on with it really, not wait around till then. I'm going around there and over there, but probably need to finish my ice lolly first. Must be a course or something you can go on to not get made angry by lots of people around you type thing, you know, strangers. I don't know, I have to look into it. Sort of evening class. I come here for the solitude really. So there we go, that was Bossum. An entirely oversubscribed tiny little tourist village. Well, I got nothing to show for it but sticky hands. My cider lolly melted all over me. Quite unpleasant. So yeah, I had a can of drink and I haven't really stopped, so I guess that was a pipe dream then. Just going to keep trundling like I do. But yes, quite a sight when the tide's all the way up, but I don't really want to hang around till 4 o'clock. That's like about 2 hours away. I could be getting like 5 miles in that time maybe. Anyway, we're going back down towards the main channel and round and swing south again. We'll see what we see. Maybe if I find a bench I will sit down for a bit. But yeah, no sign of a proper pub, as far as I could tell. A couple of cafes and tea rooms. The sort of places where they have entirely too many tables and not nearly enough empty floor space. And yes, a great number of very old people, all wearing the same sorts of glasses. It's a bit creepy. So I'm going to hightail it out of here at my usual implacable 1.75 miles an hour or 2 miles an hour, varying. See see what we'll see around the corner. Probably not much else, to be honest. Looking at the route, there's not much really now till Chichester from here, so dig in for the long haul for the afternoon. Yeah, another very low-lying shoreline road. I don't know if this one floods or not. I'll see where the kelp is here, but no matter, this will all be gone in 50 years, I'm sure. Yeah, great underwater city at bottom, like Atlantis. Or Lioness, which I've always found fascinating. Mythical drowned kingdom off the coast of Cornwall. Don't know, some fleeting semi-basis in fact, flood myths and so on, but yeah, possibly the inspiration for the Atlantis myths. Certainly in this country, who knows? Could just be making it all up. So that's why you need a car like that here, in case you get your timings wrong. Figured since my hands are all sticky anyway, I'd do the suntan stuff. Yep. Good. Yeah, this is a nice place to view bottom from, rather than within it. Can't see any of the people cluttering up their tea shops and cafes from over here. It's quite picturesque. Little steeple, wooded, the oldie houses and stuff clustered along the seafront there. Creek, whatever. Yeah, yes, I found a bench. I'm going to sit here for a bit. Just chill, relax. It's supposed to be a holiday, you know. I wonder what it would be like to lie on a sun lounger somewhere on an island off of Spain for a whole week. Really boring, I imagine. So take a load of books. I mean, basically, if you have to take a load of books, then you're not really going on the right sort of holiday, I don't think. Still, that's a personal preference, of course. But yeah, I'll sit here, rest my feet for a bit. Yeah, so on the move again. A bit windier now. It's good. Cool me down. That tide definitely coming in now. I'll say about 2 hours to high tide, but I'm following the skirting around the edge a bit on a coast path bit, so I'm wondering how much of that's going to stay above water for the whole of it, but we'll see. But once we get round the loop to the end here, we're going to basically end up on some roads for quite a while inland, so that's probably not bad timing, really. Good. Let's see where this goes. Yeah, it's definitely coming in. I think if I had to stop for a scone in Bossum, I'd probably be in trouble once I got to this bit. I reckon I've got about an hour and a half till full high tide. Only going to be on here for another 20 minutes or so, I expect. Yeah, more lucky timing, I think. Certainly not judgment. Another one of these sea oaks. So yeah, down to the end around the corner. And then we should find ourselves at some sort of ferry jetty where I'm going to not take the ferry and leave the path entirely. Go do a bit of inland road work. Yeah, it comes right up. Yeah, I don't know. Path's a path, I suppose, but something a little more rugged and inland would have been more desirable, I suppose. Still, it's fine. Get a real sense of the coast here. Yeah, it's all sticky. Ominous. Hey look, that's that ferry. Summer only, I think. It's got a little drop ramp on the front there. Coming into that little jetty thing there. Don't know if these people are going to use it. I'm not. It's nice to know it's there. Tell you what, if anyone else is going to be doing this kind of endeavour, following Tim's rules, you are totally allowed to take that ferry. That will take you across to Wessex and all. Probably save you best part of a day's travel up and back. And I'd say that would be totally within the rules. That thing, if you can catch it, it seems to be quite a mini little service. It goes across to there. Then you just carry on round. But I don't need to take it because my car's not that direction today. But yeah, like I say, if you find yourself bizarrely trying to replicate this feat, then by all means do take that ferry if you can. Not me. So I've got a bit of this to do now. This is Shoreline Access from the ferry point onwards peters out considerably for quite a way, and even if I did want to blag it and trespass, it's basically high tide as well now, so within the next hour it'll peak, so couldn't even scramble around the gravel around the edge to get to where I need to go. So this is okay. Got about 2 miles of this, I think. Then we swing back round towards Fishborne and the Roman villa. Don't get your hopes up, we're not going in, but I'll show you where it is. Very good. I recommend a visit. But yeah, walking well. So yeah, just trudge along here now. This is a bit harder on the feet, a bit less bounced, a bit less springy, a bit less absorbent, but as I've remarked many times before, you get a lot more distance in. Good, consistent, solid road to move along. Swings and roundabouts. Try not to get lost. Got the old map out on the phone, so I should be able to see the roads I need. There's not much junctions involved, to be honest. Yeah, but perhaps a bit less interesting than might otherwise be. Yeah, I think that's the primary reason I'm not on the coast at the moment. It's a great big private estate village thing. I think I'm going up there now. Not much to say really. It's a road. Yeah. Private road. Had to double check with the map to make sure I was allowed down here on foot, but I am, so it's okay. Footpath comes down here. Private road, but middle of Wednesday afternoon, but don't stop me being nearly run over by the same DPD van 3 times. So if you're trying to locate a particularly troublesome delivery in this area, I'll have to get his license plate next time. So yeah, shouldn't be too far back to the actual creek now, the river, which will then follow back up to the Roman villa, situated at its furthest extent. Yeah. You had to pick a location, these Romans. There we go, this is more like it. Good old footpath. Ooh, I have to sit and let the feet stop throbbing a bit and have a drink, but yeah, well on the way. Look, you can see Chichester Cathedral. So I didn't see on the way in. Just approached it from the wrong angle in the car. Don't think I've ever been inside that one. Been in Winchester Cathedral, that's quite impressive. Salisbury Cathedral, of course. Yeah. Quite ambivalent to religion generally, but I do like religious buildings for some reason. Right, yeah, I'll just sit for a little bit and then carry on. Basically home straight now, probably not more than an hour back to the car from here. But yeah, don't want to overdo it. Good. Heading back towards the river now. I saw some masts and yachts and things just over that hedge. That's the summer landscape. Grey skies over yellow wheat stalks. Yeah. Harvested not long ago. Straw and bits of chaff everywhere. Alright, cut through here down to the shoreline, I think. Yeah, worst action photographer ever. Still see it? Nah. Oh well, looked like a Spitfire to me. Patrolling our coastline as they have every single day since 1945. Ooh, I don't know, it's probably after a summer fete to drop bombs on it or something. A noisy thing. Quite distinctive though. I don't know if it's a Spitfire or the other one. Hawker, Hurricane, I don't know. It had the curvy wings on the end, but that's about all I know. We haven't had to learn aircraft recognition silhouette charts for about 80 years in this country, so yeah. But look here, there it is, salt marshes again. and the well, whatever, I don't know what river this is. The the Chester, I don't know. Probably has a name. Chichester Harbour, I keep calling it. Yes, we get to the end of here and then swing round to the left and just follow it all the way up to the end. Basically it. A little bit of connecty guff to get me back to Chichester Sports Centre car park, but yeah, might not bother filming that bit. It's all dual carriageways and link roads. Noisy. And there's boats at rest. There's marinas and chandleries on the other side. Sailing clubs and the like. Lovely. What time is it? 4 o'clock. This is high tide exactly at the moment, which is reassuring because it means I'm not going to get any more drenched than this. I must go quite far out. I mean, you can see where the boats are. The boats are in the deep channel because, you know, they need clearance. So pretty much everything clear this side of those boats is mud flats when the tide's out, especially this far up. Yeah. Just a sort of miniature tidal bore effect going on here. That's flowing upstream, this effectively, from the sea to the big pond thing there. It's quite a rate. Back off this bridge before I get dizzy, wobbly. I think I prefer it at high tide. It just looks so much tidier. Manky old mud flats everywhere. Just clean, undulating water. Wow, look at all that. Little swans. There's a lot of swans. Not sure I'm going to get through there alive. I've only got 2 arms. It's gotten very bad at zooming to 10 times lately. Even when I poke it. I don't know. Yeah, nearly there. Can't be much more. I mean, I think this might be the end of it actually. Just loop round the top and then along a bit. Done. I thought there was a canal stretch that went off into Chichester, but if so, that would be on the other side anyway, so maybe I imagined that or dreamt it or something. Right, let's keep pushing on. I think we're basically at the end. See what we can see when we get there. These reed beds are really cool. They're all much taller than me. Just having to follow the path and hope for the best at this point. Occasional brittle dragonfly. Unique habitat, I imagine. Well, relatively. Right, let's see if I can find my way out. Big old dragonfly, moving way too fast for me to try and catch and film, but yeah, impressive. Big green thing. Bottle green. Well, here we are. This is where I leave the trail. Cars over here somewhere. I'm there, and basically I would continue off down here. Start going down the other side of that river I just left, but I'm going up there instead and going to cut through Fishborne village. Hopefully see the Roman villa. This is where I need to rejoin to continue next time anyway. Good. Let's go all the directions. That's what I like to see. Plenty of access here. Right, I think by the sounds of it, I cut through there to the main road. Let's find out. Just wanted to get a shot of this before I signed off. Can't really see it very well, but through there is Fishborne Roman Villa, which I think it's got a big old hall full of overhead access on laid out mosaics. They actually dug up Roman mosaics, or just excavated them and replaced them and built them up, and there's a big hall in there that you can go in and have a look around. It's all got raised walkways over it all. It's probably the best preserved collection of Roman artefacts and architecture I've seen anywhere, to be honest. The main entrance is way over that side roads and stuff. I can't remember how much it is to get in. I'm not going in there now because I'm done for the day, frankly, and oh, I think you see a bit better down here. Yes, done for the day, and I'm not sure they'll take it kindly to me going in there and doing a video journal of a paid for attraction. I can't remember how much it is to pay to get in, but very impressive anyway. Apparently You can see the sort of markings of the extra bits they found. There's only part of the villa inside there. The rest of the markings are on the outside there, where the rest of the floor plan was. Apparently at the back they found a whole load more mosaics, but they decided to keep them under that sort of hill to better preserve them, you see. But a very worthwhile attraction. I recommend it if anyone's in the area. Time on their hands. Very good. Any interest in history? Car park over there, cafe and everything. But yeah, I can't remember how much it is to go in there. But well worth it. It wasn't huge. It wasn't vastly expensive. Alright, anyway, that's me done for the day. My car's the other side of that big dual carriageway in Chichester. I'm going to go and get it. Just mindless trudging from here on in. She'll pick up again from the riverside next time. Until then, see you later.